I was trying so hard to be one of that kind of woman when labeled as an angry or difficult one or the loud one. And you have your own values, stick to it. So you don't have to move around to find other values to be someone else. Hi, welcome to Breaking Barriers Journey podcast, where we empower women to be bold, be brave, and be you. I'm your host, Ayu, and today we're going to talk about a special topic, which is like a very personal to me and I think to many of us as well, which is embracing our authenticity, embracing ourselves, embracing who we really are. So I'm going to start with a story. You know, for many years of my life, I tried to be, that typical nice girl, a nice, good girl that is quiet. They don't really speak, their mind loudly. The one that is likable, everyone's favorite. I think you must have someone in mind right now. In fact, we always have someone like that in our life. So, think about that person, and if you are like me, it's very difficult to try to be that kind of person, and it's exhausting. So today we're gonna talk about how to embrace ourselves. It's more about self-acceptance, I might say. So growing up, I saw this firsthand in my family. I have a sister that is perfectly embodied. She's a perfect example of that kind of the nice good girl mold, which is the exact opposite of me, I might say. So she's very quiet. She's everyone's favorite. I adore this type of person. I adore them so much. They always putting others first. They're quiet. They don't really express their opinion loudly, but they do have their own opinion. It's just they're not social butterflies. They don't talk so much. They're more like observant. I absolutely adore this kind of personality, this kind of woman. In fact, I was trying so hard to be one of that kind of woman when I was growing up, and there was me. People might say I'm the rebel one, but I'm really not, There were moments when I speak up my mind or when I express my opinion, I would labeled as an angry or difficult one or the loud one. Loud, what I'm saying loud in here is not technically, it's not about the voice, it's more about the mind. We talk about I can speak my mind loudly, which is I can express my opinion, which is very different between me and my sister, and it's just like we are the exact opposite of people. Okay, so when I was growing up, I thought if I could only be more like her, I thought my life would be easier. If I could be like my sister, my life would be easier. But it wasn't, because I spent years trying to be the cool one, okay, don't speak your mind, just stop talking, just don't express your opinion at all. But it wasn't feeling right. It didn't feel right for me. It was exhausting. I was trying to be someone that I'm not. And at that time, I didn't think it was okay to be me, because the favorite one, the one that people like, that kind of woman that people like, and people's favorite is just like the cool one that doesn't talk, doesn't talk much. They talk when they need it, But and then there was me that I didn't think it's good enough at that time, and it's exhausting. For many years. The society, expect women to be blend in rather than stand out. But I think one day I've had enough. I started to think that, what? It's okay to be you. It's okay to be the person that is that talks a lot. But also I wanted to learn better how to listen. And I did. I learned. And I actually now I'm good at observing and listening actively. So there is a difference between self-acceptance and when you're trying to be better at something. For example, when I was trying to be more observant of other people, when I was learning how to listen actively rather than just blah blah blah. So I realized that I needed that skill. And then back to the topic, it's just like exhausting. I realized one day that I've had enough, like I will start to like myself better. It's time for us to focus on being ourselves, embracing who you really are, knowing what kind of person you are, regardless what people think. You don't care. I started to not care about what people think about me. And growing up, my dad and my mom used to call me like, I just talk a lot. When I was little, I commented on my dad's jacket, and I just say things like that, while my sister just smiling, and that was me. And it is still me until now. We were often told that the typical woman, the good girl, the nice one, is the one that to be liked, the good daughter, the good wife, the good daughter-in-law, a good mom. But I do not think it was correct, because I think the most fulfilling way is to be yourself, is to embracing who you really are, embracing your authenticity, knowing yourself a little bit more. And being genuine is for me a life-changing experience for me, because I started to know more about me. How Ayu is going to react on this, how Ayu is going to react on A, B, C, and I started to know more about myself. And then the self-improvement starts. I better learn how to manage, how to listen actively, how to observe body language, because there is a slight difference, like I said, between accepting who you really are and learning to be better, or self-improvement. And we're going to talk about that in another episode, because this time we're talking more about self-acceptance. Here is why, for me, being true to yourself, either you are like me, the one that speak their mind, the one that people think is a rebel or not so good girl, that's good girl word is bothering me. Nice girl is better. And then if you are typical like my sister, the one that is observant, the one that it's not social butterflies, she's not, you're not talking as much, or you don't really express your opinion, it's fine too. You don't have to try to be talkative. You don't have to try to be someone else, to be me, for example, and just trying to look at yourself, your skills as an inner strength. For example, maybe I'm not like my sister because I'm making a podcast. I need to talk. I cannot just sit down and no. This is do you see where this is going? Do you see where this is going now? I started to see myself, before I see it as a weakness, and now I see myself being outspoken and talkative, I might say, as something that I see as a strength. Because many years ago I was thinking, no, I want to be the cool one, I want to be just like zip and observe, and it's just like, it's really cool, when and everyone likes you. It's just cool because you are like agreeable type, and everyone likes you because you don't speak as much, and you don't really say if you don't like something. And well, it's not really me. I express my opinion. Here are some tips for you to accept more of yourself, or to embrace your authenticity, to know who you really are. And instead of thinking yourself as I'm not supposed to be like this, I should be like this, from this thinking into that is one of my strengths. So first, embrace imperfections. Nothing is perfect. Like, understand nobody is perfect, including you, and that what makes you you. So when you're starting to understand that nobody is perfect, including you start to accepting your flaws. And when you start accepting your flaws, your brain starts to think, oh, this is good, this is not good, I need to improve on this, but this is my strength. So you kind of like understand yourself a little bit more, or a lot more, when you understand nobody's perfect, because you're not trying to be someone else. Like, I'm not trying to be someone else right now, because I understand that one of my thing from being outspoken before as weakness, like that is no. Now I think of it as my strength, because look, I'm starting a podcast, I need to talk more about a lot of things, my experience and all that. And another tip, the second tip, is connect with your values. What is your values? Your core values. Normally we have these values from our family, from our culture, from our religion and all that. So when you have your own values, stick to it. So you don't have to move around to find other values to be someone else. Like, I had an experience about this as well. I was in a group of friends that was not really me. They're very girly and they're rich. They're this kind of people, and I'm trying to be them. Trying to buy branded things, bags or shoes, going to spa that is very expensive, which I couldn't afford. And that part is not my values, because I was raised by my mom. My mom is a very humble person, and so I was raised with that kind of like humbleness. So going out with this kind of group of girls for me when I was young didn't make me happy. So I was trying so hard to keep up with their conversation, and then which I didn't really know what I was talking about at that time, because I was not them. And so connect with your core values. What is your values? And do more of it. And the third one is practice self-compassion. What I'm saying is, this is related to the first one. So you have to understand that sometimes ourselves, we have to understand in the difficult days, how we react, how we react with stress, how we react with people saying this, people saying that. Sometimes it slipped, and practice that self-compassion and understand yourself, understand your inner strength. What is your strength? What is your weaknesses? What is good for you and what you need to improve on? So, and being authentic means, of course, it's self-acceptance, but it's not against self-improvement. Again, if you really think that you talk too much, blah 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 blah, and you think, oh, I think I need to learn how to listen more or observe more instead of about me. There's a difference. So those are my 3 tips to be more self-accepting, to embrace yourself, and to understand that sometimes it's not the weakness, sometimes it can be your strength as well. So remember, being true to yourself is fulfilling. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. And of course, in our younger period, I was trying to be a different person. I was trying to be my sister. I was trying to be this. I was trying to be that. That is, that's experimental journey of my life, and it's okay. But right now, in my 30s, I really, really do understand who I really am, and I wish I wish I could have known this self-acceptance when I was a teenager, because it really helped me to be more confident. It really helps me to understand, oh, this is my strength actually, so I don't have to get rid of that or to be someone else, or to be for example, like I did before, to try to be like, oh, my sister's that kind of type of woman. So to all of the amazing women that are listening to my podcast, I challenge you to this week to embrace more your authenticity, to embrace more of yourself, to start knowing, oh, it's okay actually to be me. It's fine to be me. But like I said, there is a difference between self-improvement and self-acceptance. That is a different topic. So to all of the amazing women that are listening to my podcast, let's embrace ourselves. Let's be bold. Let's be brave and be you. If you are not typical like me, if you're the quiet one like my sister, for example, you do that. You don't have to be someone else. And thank you for tuning in for this first episode of my podcast. If you like it, you can subscribe and you can comment and give me some more ideas for the next topic. And of course, you can share to your loved ones, to your friends, to your family members. And until next time, see ya.